it's Deb here from Not a Rehearsal. And when I'm working with survivors of domestic abuse, of psychological abuse, I'm often asked one of 4 questions. And one of those questions is, how will I ever feel confident to have another relationship? And there's a pattern for people who have gone on into abusive relationships, in that they come from one relationship and go to another abusive relationship, and that cycle continues. And it continues because when you've had one abusive relationship, you end up in a place where your self-esteem and self-confidence has been chipped away so much that you feel unloved and unlovable. And you begin to wonder how you will ever survive on your own. And if you have taken that courageous step to actually leave your abusive partner, the likelihood is you will run straight into the arms of somebody else that offers you the earth, and then over time they will start to chip away at your self-confidence as well, because they will see your vulnerability or your weakness. They will pick up on it, because that will mean that you are going to stay closer to them. They've got that control over you. They will keep you close. And it's a really difficult cycle to break, because even if you have the confidence and courage to leave that relationship, you spend a lot of time living in fear. Fear that you really don't know what you're doing, that you can't cope on your own, that everybody else out there is out to get you, and they can see through this facade that you've perhaps put on that says to the world that I can do this, when you don't really believe it. And if you let those voices and that feeling take over, you worry that you're going to go back to your ex-partner, because that's what you know. And sometimes being in any relationship is better than being on your own. Now, I can promise you that's not the case, but when you're in that moment, and unless you've been in an abusive relationship, and I sincerely hope you haven't, you will never ever know what those feelings of hopelessness and despair are. They are awful. You believe you can't live a normal adult life without that person telling you what to do, how to live, how to speak, how to think, how to dress, how to eat, how to live. So when you've come out of that relationship, when you've taken that massive step, that courageous step, and you've been living on your own for a while, and you're managing and you're coping, and you think, I'd quite like some company now. I'd like to be in a relationship. How do you go out there and have the confidence to start again? Well, I'm afraid it starts with you. You need to do the work on yourself. And I can say that because I've had to do that myself. And it is only when you start loving yourself and start being selfish about your own needs and wants and desires that you will end up in a place where you have the confidence to tell somebody else, this is what I need to lead a happy and fulfilling life. This is who I am. These are the things I like to do. And it's okay if you don't like doing them too, because I can do them on my own. As long as you give me that space to do them on my own, then we can get together at the end of the night and we can compare notes. Or maybe you can come and try it with me. You don't know, you might like it too. But you need to do that work on your own. And I can help you to do that. You can read either of my books and they will give you some background and some hints and some tips to start that work on yourself. For me, it was about taking a small daily step. At one stage, I didn't believe I was worthy of even having a shower. I had to become selfish enough to put my own personal hygiene first. But that's another story for another day. But if you want to become confident to go into another relationship and it to be a healthy relationship, then first, it's about being good to yourself. I'd love to know what sorts of things you do to be good to yourself. Please share in the comments below.